I brought someone special up here. Hi, Oren.
Hello.
That's my boss.
Here's my boss. We have this debate.
We always have this debate every time we meet. Oren, I'd like you to sit down for a moment.
Thank you.
And as we're about to start this session, I just wanted to play a video. Do we have a video?
מה זה? יש פה בטון. מה יש פה?
As you can see, Oren is here in action.
Oh, I have that here.
How many hits did that video get?
Tens of millions of views, probably even more. It's kind of funny because 30 seconds of drilling the world made me even more famous, much more famous than building this company for the last 10, 12 years. People tell me, hey, I think that you need to get back to your day job. And I'm like, whoa, I think that I need to go back to this home improvement because I'm more famous over there. Yeah, so, you know, and TV, this is really amazing what this kind of video. It's really, really, really interesting. You know, only now I just realized that my daughter is also screaming, hey, close the water, and call her mom. So I'm like, yeah, I didn't hear that before. She was only screaming, and now she's helping her dad scream.
So are you happier to be a handyman or a CEO of a big...
Look, I always want to like to do stuff with my hands. So whether it's home improvement or, I don't know, taking care of stuff, and I like to do that with the kids. So I like to do both. And also in the office, you know, I'm the IT manager. Why? Because there's some physical work involved. So
that is correct. You're the IT manager. I remember meeting you not meeting you the first time, but coming to the office the first time. You were doing barbecue.
Right.
And I guess you burned some of the food, but...
So you came to the burning the part when the thing was kind of too big for my barbecue skills, so I burned my hand. Right, that was the case.
You burned your hand. I think we had some burnt hot dogs, but it was good.
It was more than hot dogs. It was a little bit more.
It was more than hot dogs.
Yeah.
Oren, I mean, you're sitting here, and I wonder how it makes you feel to see such a tremendous group of people from all around Asia converging here in Bangkok. What feeling does it give you? Because you started this company, you know, 10, 12 years ago, which, I mean, you didn't even know what you were starting.
Makes me feel alive. It makes me feel like the start. When we started the company, both Reshef here and myself, we didn't know much about marketing or advertising or the internet. So we learned everything that we know from customers and from the market. So we were really attentive and listening to their problems and the challenges, what they're trying to achieve. And then we go back and thought, okay, what kind of software can we build to improve their lives, to make them successful? So being very close to our customers and market is a critical component of this company. This is how it started. This is what made it successful. And as we go along and we become much more experts in what we do, this is the drawback. This is the challenge. This is the problem, basically, because we always need to keep our empty mind so we can absorb ideas and change the way we're thinking about things. I recently read a book, Zazen, which is Zen Beginner's Mind, and what it says basically that in beginner's mind there are many possibilities. In expert mind you have few possibilities, which is a kind of counterintuitive. But if you really think about it, it's true, because we get into an established market, but we found this market without measurement. We found the market that companies been spraying and praying. We found the market with a lot of conflicting interests in it. We found that companies make significant decisions without data, without measurement. It just didn't make any sense. But what really happened, that companies that have been successful, this is their Achilles. This is what kind of drives them to their own solutions. And this is why, back to your question, why it's super important for us to be very close to our customers and the market, and learn, adapt, challenge the status quo, use common sense, and what we like to say in the company, that common sense is not that common. It's very uncommon to have common sense, and this is...
Martin would agree with you.
I agree with him, so we have kind of, yeah.
So I think you talk about the beginner's mind, and I think this is something really interesting, because as you mentioned, I mean, I don't know how many of you know Oren and Reshef. Their background is they're engineers, and not only normal engineers, they graduated from the top of their class in university, but we won't go on to that. But as Oren was saying, one of the things that you had to do was to listen to the customer. And today we are here 10 years later, and the customer's voice is stronger than it's ever been as we help build the future of AppsFlyer. Mm-hmm. And I think we will all agree that AppsFlyer has had a significant impact on the ecosystem that we operate in.
Yes.
Talk to us about how you view AppsFlyer and what it's done over the past 10 years towards building this ecosystem to where it is today.
So maybe I'll start from really the beginning of AppsFlyer, which is technically the introduction of the App Store. And then you had a new form factor. It was only web sites through browser, and then you have a mobile application. Many companies thought that application is just, Flashlight and all that kind of stupid apps that existed before. I met many VCs trying to raise money for this company, said that application is not a VC business. Like real VCs said that, even good ones. So what we've seen, that this is a massive change in mobile, and we thought that mobile is going to grow like crazy. The second thing is the conflicting interest that I was talking about. I mean, if you are representing the customer and you're representing also the other side of the equation, and there is kind of conflicting interest, and who you represent.
Who's the referee there?
With the referee. So the referee belongs to one group or one team or the other team. That's and it also felt like kind of the Wild West. And specifically the Levi story and the gold rush in the 19th century in California. Then Levi's was providing, tools and clothing. And we thought that we want to build software to allow all these applications to be successful in this market. And I think that in the past, we've been looking into the market as constant. This is the market. We have zero influence on the market. So we got into this crack of measurement. And we've built a really unique technology and built an ecosystem around it. And slowly and steadily, we had more and more and more influence in how the market is shaping, to the level that we really feel big responsibility for the ecosystem, for the customers, for the partners, also for the platforms, and eventually, or first of all, for the consumers in the end of the day. And we thought, okay, so if we want to be customer obsessed, if we really care about our customers, we need to think about their consumers. And this is kind of the mindset that we had. So really focusing on the customer, the consumer in the end, and really leveraging these kind of changes, because the company was established based on a significant change. And then we evolved on significant changes in the digital ecosystem. And in the last couple of years were transformational in how, or the magnitude of change that is happening. Specifically, we're talking about privacy changes, regulations, privacy changes in the platforms, iOS 14, iOS 15. Right now, this week in WWDC, iOS 17, new changes, privacy, Google Privacy Sandbox, and just to name a few. And back to your question, we really take these changes, and we are looking into these changes and challenges in their face and say, okay, what can we do to benefit the ecosystem as opposed to benefit AppsFlyer? And the way we've been handling that internally, I tell the team, let's forget everything that we've built in the last 10 years. Just put that aside. It's not important. Let's focus on the ecosystem. Let's focus on what's right for the ecosystem. And this is kind of the beginner's mind again, right?
Right.
So you don't take all this weight that you built in the last 10 years, which is basically your baby. And I was talking with people that have been building these products and telling them, hey, put your baby aside for a minute. Let's focus on what's right for the ecosystem. And then maybe we can leverage that, maybe we cannot, maybe we can evolve that, maybe we cannot, maybe we need to build something new, maybe we cannot. So that's one aspect. And this is how we managed to build like really, I would say really big innovations in this market, and specifically for privacy preserving measurement, top of the funnel measurement, whether it's incrementality or creative analytics or conversion modeling or SK network innovation or whatnot. Privacy cloud, data clean room. And through these innovations, we actually have a significant impact on the market, directly and indirectly, on the platforms and how platforms are thinking about different things. Again, just to make everybody think about the magnitude of changes that are happening. If you think about the digital ecosystem, you think about the internet, it's built on very basic elements. It builds on cookies, it builds on URLs.
Yep.
It builds on mobile identifiers. That's about it. And all these are going to go away.
So the whole backbone.
In the process of completely removing the most basic elementary building blocks of what you use every day, all day. And the question is how the future is going to form, because I can tell you one thing for sure, that it's changing in a meaningful way, and if we just fast forward 5 years from today, it's going to be very different. It means that all of you will have to throw away chunks of things that you built and you fell in love with because it's your baby, it's your product, it's your technology, and all of a sudden you need to let it go and build something new and challenge the status quo. And this is basically what we try to enable our customers, but we also work in a limited piece in your software stack, but I believe that you have much more than AppsFlyer and the marketplace around it. So we try to work with all the major platforms, work with Meta, work with also Apple, Google, TikTok, Snapchat, Moloco, our partners, in dozens and dozens of projects. And we're really happy with the collaboration that we have with these companies. So for example, Meta, it's a very close partnership that we have with them for now getting to 11 years. Since Facebook went mobile and they established the MMP program. Some of the things I can mention, some of the things I cannot mention, some of the things will be really big part of the future. Some are not going to work, and we're going to say goodbye to them. But these are all, I think that it was also mentioned, the experiment. So we experiment a lot with these partners. And thankfully, specifically, for the last couple of years, we're very happy that we found some really meaningful solutions for these challenges, and how to enable basically companies to work with each other, collaborate with each other, without cookies, without identifiers, etc. So they can really get the benefit of it and not expose data that they don't want to expose. By the way, it's not only privacy, this is also good for business. I mean, do you want to give away your customer data to another company that can learn about your business and maybe take your businesses away? Probably not. So this is a good thing. I mean, some companies really care about that, some less, but I'm saying, you know, this is first of all about your business. You want to protect your data, protect your data. You want to make sure that your data is not working against you, make sure that the data is not working against you. And you need to pay attention to it.
So you mentioned this word a lot, challenge. And I think that everyone in here faces challenges in their business every day. But you seem to have a very optimistic approach to challenge, because challenge for you as a CEO, but as a leader of a company, also means opportunity. And I want to touch on three areas that probably are on people's mind. One, you talked about quite a bit already about privacy. The second, I want to talk about, anyone want to hear about AI? Probably. Maybe we need to wake them up. And third, I want to talk a little bit with you about the macros.
Macro condition.
The macro condition. Yeah.
What about it?
What are your views on
that it's going to go away?
Great. Okay, let's move on.
Sooner and probably then later. It's going to go away. These are cycles. So this is how the economy works. Few years downturn, few years downturn, and I think that what we're seeing is basically major changes that going to impact each and every company on the planet. Privacy changes, data changes, AI, and it's becoming much more challenging because you have this economic slowdown. So companies been trying to think how they can become more effective, more efficient, but it's really easy to make mistakes in that way. Because if you continue to do what you do right now, just with, let's say, less people, you're going to go out of business. Because if you're not going to apply AI into what you do right now, it's not in the future, it's right now, because it also takes time to people to think differently. You know how many years it took for companies to understand that mobile is a thing? You know how many companies went out of business because they didn't realize fast enough that mobile is the thing? Do you understand that many people and companies think, okay, AI is coming, they're probably are going to hear about it. If there's going to be news that I need to read or adapt, someone is going to come to me and, I don't know, pitch it to me. This is not good enough. This is not good enough. You know, I'm walking around in the office and I'm telling people, you should think how you replace yourself with AI. At the beginning, they hear, oh, wow, this is, job security. And I'm telling them, job security, your best job security is to find a way to replace what you do with AI.
So you can do something else.
So you can do something else, you can evolve. And guess what? If you're not going to do it, someone else is going to do that instead of you, and you're going to be really jobless.
I mean, they say there's two types of people, right? People who use AI and people who don't.
Yeah.
Right? It's like the elephant and the mammoth.
Yeah, definitely. And what do you think that these people are doing when they're getting back to the office, sitting in front of their laptop? After I told that to them.
Probably they didn't.
The same. They're doing the same.
Yeah.
They're doing the same. Second time I tell them. Maybe they do the same. Third time I tell them. Now they start to think differently.
Yeah. Maybe you need to think differently.
Maybe me. For sure. For sure. For sure. Because habits, you need to, all of us have habits. Changing habit is probably one of the most difficult things to do. You get used to do something, and you do that over and over again. You feel comfortable in it. And you need to have these kind of challenges. Sometimes in the challenges, okay, two things. One, challenge that it's in front of you. You see it. Let's say there is a fire out there. It's very visible. I don't need to tell you, hey, there is a fire. You see it, and you know what you need to do. COVID-19. It's visible. It's in the news. Alignment. Okay, don't leave your house. Whatever it is. Okay, you know what to do. Some things happening under the surface that you don't really see it, and it's easy to ignore. Also, iOS 14 was something that is visible. But AI change is not something that is very visible. It's not a device that you can see like the smartphone invention or stuff like that. Also privacy, it's like, in some extent, this is under the surface. And when it's under the surface without a due date, so in COVID it was due date. iOS 14, there were several due dates. And cookies deprecation, also several due dates. So sometimes, I think it was mentioned today, to create some artificial due date for certain things, because if you're not going to do it, no one is going to give you the due date, and you're going to go out of business before you realize it. So I don't know what's the question. I forgot the question.
You forgot the question.
Yeah.
So I think you know, we wanted to talk about macro.
Oh, we talked about AI. Hold on. So in AI, in AI, basically the way we look at it and the way I look at it, you have AI to improve the processes that you already have, to improve the products that you already have, to improve the services, customer service, and all that kind of stuff. This is happening. This is right now. This is one. Second thing is building new products, and specifically building new products that you couldn't build without AI. So we are practicing in different areas like predictive analytics, fraud protection, creative analytics, a bunch of things that we couldn't do with like standard software building. So this is AI. Another aspect of AI is really, I believe in this, that it will create a completely new form factor in how to access the digital world. So you're going to have websites in the browser, you're going to have apps in Google Play or App Store, and you're going to have ChatGPT and others, so you can access the digital world through chat, so you can book the hotel or the trip entirely in the platform, and without installing an app, without having the app. Why do you need to have the app? So, and this is what we announced a couple of weeks ago to support analytics, attribution analytics, and measurement for ChatGPT specifically plugins. So this is, again, another platform. This is really early days, but I believe that it will be evolved very rapidly. I hate to make predictions. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking about what's never going to change, but and this is really a prediction. But I think that in 2-3 years, which is really fast, you're going to have something like that. Yeah.
Maybe I just ask a side question. What is bigger, AI or the invent of the iPhone?
Now you define what is bigger. I think that the AI...
What will have more impact on the world?
But without the smartphone, you're not going to have AI, and there is no impact. But the incremental change that AI is going to bring is probably much bigger than the iPhone. And I think that in my life, there were very few aha moments that I said, okay, this is the word before, and the word after is going to be completely different. One is my first line of code, and that was when I was a kid. Like really programming something and seeing that on screen, that was magical. And I'm talking about the 80s, early 80s. Mm-hmm. And the second thing was in my school, in university, we had to build something, Reshef and I. And I said, why rebuilding it? I'll find the code for it. And I was searching, and there was no Google really, so it was 99. And I found Google search. It was powered by Yahoo. I searched for it, and I was shocked when I discovered Google. I really didn't go to sleep that day. I was searching and finding and reading and searching and finding, and I really, it was in the morning, and I was like, wow, this is incredible. How can you search the entire web? It just, as a technological person, it just didn't make sense how you can index the entire world. And that was a magical moment. And then the third magical moment was my first iPhone, which was in 2010.
It was a second-hand iPhone, right?
It was a second-hand. I got it on Craigslist. I paid for it $200. It was my play. I had BlackBerry, so I was sure that BlackBerry is the thing, and Apple didn't have even a chance. It was impossible to buy it in Israel back then. The iPhone reached Israel only in 2011 or so, 11, 12 or whatever. So I really bought it to learn. I was shocked, really. I was shocked. And this is the third night that I didn't go to sleep and played with it. And this is why I really fell in love, and I wanted to build something that relates to this thing, because I was sure that our lives going to be completely different. And I was also sure that in my lifetime, probably I'm not going to see more things in that magnitude that are going to change our lives completely, and it happened a couple of months ago with AI, really.
This is the forthcoming.
It's, really, I thought that we're not going to see such transformative thing or technology that will transform our lives, and
here it is.
Yeah.
And how, as a company, and I'm sure...
Look, I really, this is something that I was playing with it. When they released the ChatGPT 2 or whatever, the one in November. I played with it, and I'm like, wow, this is amazing, this is amazing. And I have this tasks and notes about things my thoughts, and I have a lot of thoughts. I write bullet points, and then I'm getting lazy not to write it down and stuff like that. I took the bullet points, I gave it to ChatGPT, and asked it to write a blog post. I was mind-blowing. And then we iterated a little bit. 2-3 hours, boom, done, released. Something that I have on my shelf, and I have support. I have editors, I have people that can write for me. It was on my shelf and to-do list for 1 year, and 2 hours of work. More than that, the ChatGPT plugin support that we announced 3 weeks ago, do you know who made that idea?
ChatGPT.
Right. And who wrote the PR?
ChatGPT?
No. Me with the ChatGPT and the marketing, everything. I want to give credit. But really it was the fact that you can have someone listen to you with 100% attentive.
Like me.
Like you, but I'm sure that you're also thinking about so many other things. Our mind are, we were to Bruno Mars concert 2 weeks ago. We had the MAU, the mobile app unlock in Vegas, so we went to Bruno Mars concert. And it was an amazing concert. You know why? Besides the fact he's an amazing performer. You know why?
ChatGPT.
No. Because our minds are fact. I tell you why. At the beginning, when you enter the concert, they take your phone away. They put it in a pouch, they lock it, here you go, you cannot use it. So imagine I don't know, it was 10,000 people or 5,000 people, whatever, no phones at all.
That's a good idea for a conference, by the way.
It is a good idea. You know why? Because your mind is not distracted. You are right there in the moment. You appreciate the moment. Your mind is focused.
Do you know who the only person in the room who doesn't have a phone is?
Who doesn't have a phone?
Yes.
I don't know, ChatGPT.
I'm not sure if he's still here.
By the way, it's not good for business, so you should use your phones, just not here.
By the way, Martin Lindstrom does not own a phone, period.
So we still have some growth in the business, huh? We need to get Martin. Where is
We
it?
have one more customer to download someone's game or a travel app.
Think about the laws. No, seriously. I have a phone, but my phone is 99% of the time is completely silent, no interruptions, no messages, nothing. No one can call me or anything. I completely disable all the notifications. And I recommend that all of you...
I won't call you now.
Try to call. No one can call. Not even my kids. I have this peace of mind, so I can focus. I don't have this cortisol or whatever you call it that you...
Does anyone have a question for Oren? Give you a few moments to think about it if someone wants to ask a question, but maybe the question, if you are ChatGPT and I am a customer, what is AppsFlyer building to help me become more efficient? Enter.
ChatGPT.
You are ChatGPT, I am a customer.
Okay. What are we building?
What will you build? How will you make my life simpler?
So it's a very complex one. I mean, first of all, measurement, which is becoming much more complex, just to achieve what the industry had just not too long ago, specifically on iOS, and it's coming to Android, is how to enable companies to get the data that they need in order to make decisions. As a measurement company, I'm really afraid of measurement, because if you measure the wrong things, and I think that also what was mentioned in a few of the panels today, it's very hard to argue with data. So if someone is bringing, hey, bring me data, and you have the data, and you're not arguing with the data, and you're not having some doubt in the data, you probably will make some wrong decisions. So I think that we really work hard to make sure that our customers have the right data so they can make decisions. Specifically in the downturn, we want to make sure that our customers do not have to have like 10 analysts and BI and expensive processes just to understand the data. We're also thinking how can we enable companies and our customers and partners to commingle data without exposing data, without sharing user-level data with each other so they can get the insights that they used to have before various restrictions and data restrictions. We are thinking about how can we enable companies to leverage organic traffic, not organic.
Nothing is organic.
Actually, we had this conversation.
Nothing is organic.
Organic, actually, this is something that we've been thinking, and I was also challenged during lunch. Someone told me that, what is organic? And I say, yeah, organic is something that we actually don't know, and don't know where the users come from. And this is something that we want to unfold. So when I'm saying AI is how can we charge our platform with AI so our customers don't have to take care of it themselves, so we can solve it for the entire market. Again, specifically for what we do, and we cannot do everything, obviously. Also thinking about how can we enable innovation for our customers, but in a broader sense, how can we enable innovation for the entire ecosystem? So we're thinking about AppsFlyer as a platform, and this is the basis of the privacy cloud and data clean room. How can we expose more APIs and data that other companies, third-party companies, can build stuff on top of it? And also, just to connect the dots, how can privacy and data minimization and AI data maximization can live together? And this is basically the basis of the privacy cloud, and how you can bring the services, you can bring the software, you can bring the AI models into the data and into the privacy cloud. So the data is not exposed, but you can still enjoy the benefit of it. Again, instead of sending the data to all over the place with all these services, and data mapping is impossible. Also, well, the list is long.
The list is very long. It's always long.
Yeah, so let's make it short. Our goal is to really make our customers and partners' lives easier. We leverage all these challenges and changes to push ourselves to do better. I also can tell you that iOS 14, which was really major change and shift in the ecosystem, even if your major customers are not on iOS, now we're going to see it for Android. In that period of time, it was really existential threat to us and many other companies, and honestly to the entire digital world. And that period of time, moving back to challenges or opportunities, we really had the calling. Our customers, you've been calling us and asking us, hey, what are we going to do? What are we going to do with ATT? What are we going to do with SK Network? What are we going to do with all these new things? And we received hundreds and thousands of really companies that were afraid of the future. And this is how we kind of evolved also our vision for better and safer digital experience to everybody. So this is kind of things that guides us. So even if we see stuff that are not related to what we do, or maybe even a competitor is doing something that is great for the ecosystem, we cherish that. We are happy about it because it will promote the entire ecosystem towards our vision. And this is what we want to do, basically. Yeah.
This is great. I think, do I see any hands up there? There's big bright lights here. Before we go into the closing.
Oh, we have they're shy.
They're shy?
Yeah, they're not asking questions.
Anyone want to ask a question?
Maybe transmit that question in the sixth sense. Okay. Yeah, it works. works. Yeah.
Great. So, I was very amazed with the way you played with Google when it came, you first time kind of got introduced to it, and the way you're experimenting with ChatGPT. So tell me if mobile is not a device, okay, and that could be a reality, in coming future. A lot of things are happening, it's some other format, maybe something embedded in your body and something of that sort. And if privacy is such a, gatekeeper and all of that, right? Then what will be the future of advertising, according to you?
First of all, I think that privacy is misunderstood. I think that privacy is much more than cookies and identifiers. I think that privacy is what you think about privacy, but just remove everything that you know about privacy and think about what is privacy for you. Privacy for you is basically, and I just take a guess, the things that you perceive as private. Let's say sending a message to your life partner, or having a phone call, or having a Zoom call with someone, or getting into a meeting room and closing the door. You perceive that as private, right? Or your photos that you take on your phone, and all that kind of stuff, emails, messages. Okay, all the things that you perceive as private. Now, the question is there someone reading it or having access to it, or even worse, have a computer that is reading it, analyzing it? And I think that, only 2 years ago, Apple made this indication that the camera is on, because we all work around here with cameras on us and microphones on us, and it's like microphones and cameras all over the place. Now, the question is what's happening with that. And I think that to some extent, we're missing what is really privacy and what is important for us. Because when you go online, you decide to go online. Obviously, there's a lot to do on that aspect, but I'm really happy that Apple is also taking measure, and I think that in iOS 17, they're taking different aspects of data. Okay, so if the application have access to photos, what do you do with the photos, or stuff like that? And this is the privacy manifest. I don't know how many of you read these news. Also, Apple made this indication if the microphone is on. Oh, thank you very much. Up until now, I didn't know if the microphone is on or not. So this is kind of privacy. And then advertising. I think that advertising is critical for all of us. I think that advertising is making sure that all of us have access to information, to education, for quality, so people have opportunities. If you think about innovation, if you're probably thinking about Silicon Valley in California, and how come so many companies get out of there? Because they have access to information, they have access to education, and with the internet, it's becoming something that is widely accessible, and I think that this is so critical. And this is something that I played with my mind. So if Bill Gates was playing with computers in the mid-50s in his university, because the university had access to this computer. But it was only in the US, and only very, very few universities. Just think about how the world's going to look like, and how many Bill Gates we will have in the world if this kind of accessibility to information and education will be accessible globally. All right? And I think that this has kind of evolved over the years, and you see more and more and more innovation, more technology companies everywhere on the planet. And this is thanks to the accessibility of of education and information, and basically access to the internet. So access to the internet, obviously, in India, it's like tremendous change since it makes it more affordable in terms of the cost, and the publisher is basically being funded and monetized through advertising. So I think that advertising is one of the most amazing business models ever created on the planet for the benefit of equality and really access to information and education. I think that Martin mentioned the YouTube videos. I learned so much from YouTube, and I think when people tell me, should I go to university or not? So I tell them, first of all, if you look for information, everything is online. And again, you don't need to pay for it. And if just think about that, everything was subscription. You just deny access to information and education from so many people. And I think that really looking into Asia, and we are in Myanmar, Asia, think about so much innovation that can be created in this region and countries with so many people in the population. You just need to make sure that they have access to information and education and advertising and financing it. So I think it's great. And I think that we need to continue to support that, and privacy.
Oren, this has been a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Oren Kaniel.
Yeah. I also want to take the opportunity to thank you, thank to our customers and partners. Thank you for the trust and the support. We don't take that for granted. Thank you for helping us building AppsFlyer, because I think I mentioned that. I didn't mention that. Actually, after started in Asia. It started in Israel, but really started in Asia. And I think that we are very thankful for all the feedback that you told us, hey, it doesn't work, demanding customers. Why you go to the US? They're not so demanding. If something is broken, they don't even notice. Here, you are killing us. And that's a good thing. You make our lives hard. And this is a good thing. So I want to thank you for pushing us to become better and better and better. Thank you for the challenges that you're introducing to us and to the team.
By the way, do you know that there is someone in this room who's been using AppsFlyer since 2013?
We have quite a few, but I don't know who is that specifically.
Emma, are you here? Hi, Emma.
Thank you. And thank you, Ronen.
Thank you.
Yeah.